So I'm at a place that I have never been before. I am at Nowlens Bridge Perennials, and I'm here with Donna. And Donna, you are part of the Cascade Nursery Trail, which is a great idea of really small, intimate, beautiful little nurseries that get together and have this event. And there's some fun stuff happening on the event, isn't there?
That's right. We're having our July nursery crawl, and people can visit each nursery and answer the riddles and then submit the card for a grand prize of $250.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. And a lot of plants can be bought for that, can't they?
Yes,
and
yes.
Speaking of plants, I want to just go over a couple that you have here. One of my favorites and so difficult to find. Tell me about this.
That's Beesia deltaphyllum, and it's a beautiful evergreen shade perennial with serrated leaves, a little bit of marbling. It flowers mostly in April, and then it will politely self-sow, and so you'll have little babies around, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful plant, and it's evergreen.
It really is.
And that's hard to find.
And there's a picture of a bigger one down here at the base of the cart, but they really are a beautiful addition to a shade garden. Now,
and they don't really require a lot of water.
No, they don't.
Which
Once
is nice.
established, they're
yes.
quite good. Now, I have to say, this one I had not seen before, but I love it. Tell me about it.
That's a Potentilla tridentata, and it can take either partial shade or full sun. In shade, it's lush like this. In sun, it's lower to the ground, but it's also semi-evergreen.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I got to say one more, which, you know, having been in the industry for so many years, I know that this is one of my favorites, but so hard to find.
Yes, and I think it's because they're hard to transplant.
Yeah.
And it blooms all summer long. It can take a very, very dry soil conditions, but even in the wintertime, it could have quite a bit of water.
Wonderful.
And so it's just a wonderful summer plant.
So this is Rhamnea, and it's just one of the great plants you can find out here at Nowlens Bridge Perennials. All right, Judy, I'm throwing it over to you now.
Thanks, William. And now I'm at Garden Time Nursery in Silverton with Pati. And Pati, you're part of this day of trail nurseries too.
Yes, yeah, the Cascade Nursery Trail is such a nice group to belong to, and it provides just a vast assortment of plant material, each of us specializing and featuring in a few different things.
Yeah, and I know that you have a great selection here, and actually they're all deer resistant, which is really a plus.
It is. Early in the spring, my first greenhouse is all full of vegetables, and this time of year when those have kind of cleared out, I turn it over to everything kind of deer resistant and
perfect.
Usually pretty drought tolerant as well.
Ah, look at this orange bloom. What is this?
This is Augustaki Arizona Sandstone.
Wow.
It's going to be a very compact plant, and
Nice.
I really like it because some of my others in the past had gotten tall. When we get winds blowing through, the stems are pretty easy to break there. So this one stays nice and compact. It loves the heat we've been having, and the hummingbirds are just crazy about it.
Yeah, we've been fighting them off all morning here. And then this dahlia is gorgeous.
It is. We have 30 to 40 dahlias this year,
Wow.
all different varieties, a few with the darker foliage.
Pretty.
They're just easy to get going and growing, and you get bloom all the way until fall.
Ah, that is nice. And then a foliage to kind of break up all the flowers.
It is. I have a little bit of bare spot in the garden during
all
the
do.
winter months,
Sure.
like everybody else. But this plant stays pretty compact and low, and it's a really vibrant chartreuse color.
Oh, pretty.
It's an evergreen.
And it's a Santolina.
Santolina, so that hot sun is perfectly fine. Another area that this is really useful for is if you've got edging on a walkway. It's nice and tidy, it stays low, you don't have to do a lot of trimming, and being evergreen, it looks inviting all year.
Well, that's all the plants that we can have time for, but you got to come out and see Pati, and I'm going to toss it back to William.
So thank you, Judy. Now I'm here, it's actually two nurseries in one place. I am here with Nathan, who is from Fresh Start, and clearly, Nathan, you love conifers, so you have such a great selection that you offer people, but tell me, just pick out like three of the ones that you find that are the best that you really like.
You know, actually, this particular little guy is Zumagoyo. It's a Pinus parviflora. I really like this guy. It's got a good blue color to it, nice and soft in texture, and it grows fairly low if you let it. It will also get larger, but if you like something even lower, nice and green.
Nice.
This is Dave's Choice. It's a Mugo pine, which actually grows a nice tight ball, and in 10 years you'll have probably something about 12 inches by 12 inches if you're lucky.
Very
so
slow then.
Yeah, very small. One of my favorites though is actually this guy right here. This is sea urchin. which is really, really extremely soft. If you know, you can feel that guy. It's got a nice blue.
Oh,
It's
wow.
actually bluer in the ground. 10 years on this guy, probably about 18 inches by 18 inches.
So-
all these guys are fairly small and
Yeah, I
slow
was going to say,
growers.
so all of these would be great in containers.
Definitely.
Wonderful.
A couple of guys will get a little bit bigger, but ultimately I specialize in the little ones.
Great. Now I'm going to jump over here to Linda. And Linda, you are actually Miller's Manor Gardens, right?
Correct.
So again, the same thing as with Nathan. Give me like 2 or 3 of these that are just really special to you and why.
Well, we're really into fuchsias.
Stunning.
And we grow approximately about 100 varieties
Wow.
for sale. And this is one of the newer Berneras. This is Alexander's Great. It's like Jack Frost on steroids.
Wow.
Yeah, it grows. I mean, these are less than 1 year. I mean, these were little plugs this spring.
Yeah.
And they just plump up really quickly. And I'm very fond of the echinacеas. This is one of the newer ones, Chiquita.
Lovely.
They just grow different places in the
They
garden.
make you
and
happy, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And they bloom when everything else is suffering from the heat.
So this is just another one of the great nurseries on the Cascade Nursery Trails tour. You can go to gardentime.tv. I think the whole thing is going through the end of July. Get all the information, mark out a map, visit them all. Thank you so much, Linda.
You're welcome.